All right, moving right along. Joining us now is my friend Mike Pompeo, distinguished former Secretary of State, Fox News contributor, author of Never Give an Inch, Fighting for the America I Love, which is quite a good book. We read the book and we reviewed the book. Mike Pompeo, welcome. You know, at the heart of this thing, there's this moral equivalence between Ukraine and Israel. I want to get your take on it. You know more about this than I do. I just think they're two separate issues and should be treated separately. And the other one, Mike Pompeo, is the issue of Iran. They do not, the Bidens do not understand that, to use Walter Russell Mead's phrase, Iran is unappeasable. All right, so no matter what you do, give them all the money in the world, they're still unappeasable. But you tell me, Secretary, what's cooking here? How's this speech?
So let me try and take them consecutively, just as you asked them. First, there's no doubt what the conflict in the Middle East is different from the conflict in Europe. I think the United States has a responsibility to help each of these two nations defend their sovereignty and certainly help the Jewish people protect their rightful homeland that they've been at for 3,000 years. We should consider them separately, but we should be able to do each of these because they matter to the United States, not for any other reason than this matters to America enormously to get this right, to not let bad actors see that America's deterrence has failed. To let them think that they can take real estate by force is a really dangerous thing to let loose on the world. That certainly includes our southern border as well. That too should be considered, although I think separately because they require that level of detail. Your point about Iran is spot on, Larry. You said this earlier. I think Walter Russell Mead nailed it. The model for Obama and Biden has been, how much money will it take to convince the Iranians to stop their terror? And the answer is $70 billion isn't enough. That's what Joe Biden has given them in 2.5 years. We know that the answer is there is not enough money in the world because for political Islam, it's not about money. It's not about taking care of your own people. It is about the wanton destruction of anyone that stands in the way of your theocratic ideas about how the world ought to operate. And the Ayatollah, whether you give them $100 million in Gaza or $100 billion in Gaza, the Hamas warriors still will want to move from the Mediterranean to the Jordan River. And we can't let that happen. And we shouldn't provide money to them that they will use for malign purposes. You know, you give them concrete, they're not going to use it to build buildings. They're going to use it to build launch pads for their rocket systems. We saw this. We have a lot of history. We know better. The American people know better. The world knows better. And President Biden and the United Nations simply don't understand the nature of this theocratic regime that sits inside of Iran today.
Mike Pompeo, I mean, the world was a safer place under Trump and Pompeo and O'Brien, etc. I think, you know, you look at this thing, in 3 years, you've had blow-ups in Ukraine, for that matter, blow-up in Afghanistan, a hasty retreat in Afghanistan. You have a massive blow-up in the Middle East like we haven't seen in a long, long time, maybe 50 years since the Yom Kippur War. You've had all these mini blow-ups here and there. China's taking advantage of us, buzzing Taiwan. I mean, Mike Pompeo, you look at the world scene, it was left as a pretty peaceful place. I know it ain't perfect. What has happened? The world is in flames now, Mike Pompeo.
So, Larry, I think that's very true. You should include Kudlow as part of the team that built that. Getting America's policy right here at home mattered an awful lot to the globe's prosperity. We unleashed American energy. We reduced regulations. All of those things matter, too. It was a comprehensive understanding of putting America first in a way that delivered good outcomes for the American people and thereby our friends and allies around the world, too. And your point's exactly right, Larry. The bad guys knew that we were serious about protecting America. And when you lose that, whether you abdicate Afghanistan in a way that gets 13 Americans killed, or you let a Chinese spy balloon fly over our country for 5 days, stealing American secrets, when you do those things, the bad guys just figure it out and they begin to run amok. And I pray, Larry, I pray that in the weeks ahead, this president won't constrain the Israeli government from doing the necessary. That's the biggest risk to America and to the Jewish people. We have to get this right. Prime Minister Netanyahu and his national security team need to be able to do the things they believe they need to do to keep their country safe. And the pressure from the whole world to stop this over the coming days and weeks will be enormous. And President Biden just needs to make sure he gets this one right for America and for Israel.
100%, Secretary Pompeo. You're exactly right. Let the IDF, let them do what they need to do because they, and among other things, they do it rather well. Just let them do it. Secretary Mike Pompeo, thank you, sir.